So I was recently asked who was my favourite vampire, because, you know, it's Halloween. And I said, well, of course, it's the Muppet from Sesame Street. And I was told, actually, that doesn't count. And I said, oh, I can assure you he does.
Oh.
Hey, Halloween puns. Boom.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
My enablers, they come to me. They come to me. Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to the Black Dog version 2, episode 24. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Kiefer Sutherland. No, wait, that's not right. Wrong 24.
The following podcast takes place between 10 o'clock and 10:45 p.m.
Beep, beep.
Guy just making an ice cream standing outside.
Ross Noble.
There you go.
And I'm Elton.
And this week we'll be seeing how everyone's week's been. And then we will be moving on to the first of our Indeterminate weeks of horror. Because, as always, we'll bound to fuck it up and end up doing 5 weeks in 4, or 4 weeks in 3, or 6 weeks in 3, or whatever. It never works out well, basically. You can historically go back over the last 11 years, and we've never hit October the 31st once. So, yes, we'll be doing that, which is Jim's choice, which is, Jim?
Hellhouse LLC.
Okay, which is a film which I think nobody apart from Jim has seen. We'll be talking about that. Then after that we'll see how everyone's going outside of the podcast world, and then we'll all go home and go to sleep. And
Yay!
That'll be it. That is our Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's going to go. So, let's start with the weeks. Let's see how everyone's week's been, and we shall start with you, Jim, because you have been posting cute pictures.
I have, yes. As you heard last week, we got our rescue dog for a sleepover. Mm-hmm. She stayed over Tuesday night, and that pretty much went off without a hitch, really. So she's 7-year-old. She'd been rehomed twice from her original home. And she does have some issues. One of the issues, she guards things.
Okay.
And so being that she's been living at the dog's house for ages now, she's quite used to having an early night. And obviously it was quite an exciting day for her. And she actually just sort of conked out on the sofa.
Nice.
And we said, do you want to cut your basket? And she sort of half asleep. No. And it's kind of, well, we don't want to traumatize her and drag her off. And it's not like we're sleeping on the sofa. If you want to sleep on the sofa, that's fine. There's a blanket on it. Not a problem. Mm-hmm. Figuring she might get down and, go to a basket. Next morning, she wouldn't get off the sofa. And she sort of didn't growl at her, but sort of grumped at her, kind of just like, don't try and move me. And that's like the guarding behaviour. It's like, this is my sofa.
Yeah.
But she let me sit down next to her, and when it was kind of, I just sat there and just sat back and just chatting to her, saying, "It's all right. You don't need to guard the sofa. It's fine. No one's going to take it away. We're not going to drag you off." And then I saw she just literally sort of went off alert mode and just sort of relaxed, went, stroked her. And I said, "Do you want some breakfast?" Yep. Tail wagged. "Do you want to go out for a wee?" Tail wagged. Got up, jumped off the sofa. No problems.
Nice.
And we had a couple of things like that, and it is kind of, you have to kind of clearly, she hasn't, one of the issues she also doesn't like people reaching for her, in particular the collar. And I'm thinking, it's somewhere in her past she's been dragged around by that collar. And she seems very nervous, particularly of being on furniture. And it's always like, "Are you going to move me?" And I'm thinking someone is always, "Get that dog on the furniture," kind of bullshit. Yeah. Going, well, don't have a dog, dickhead, if that's your attitude.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it went well, and so we then went. The next day was to adopt her. Nice. And we did the paperwork, and we got her on Monday, and she seems to have settled really well. Nice. No accidents on the carpet. She is fully house trained. She asks to go out, which I'm kind of used to. She's eaten all the meals.
Dogs actually ask. What?
No, he's talking about himself, Darren. He gets asked to go out and wee in the lawn. Sorry, carry on, Jim.
So that's all been good. A minor hiccup today because we've kind of we're advised not to like take her out for a walk just yet. You just let her. She's just kind of in 2 rooms downstairs currently. She got the runner downstairs really, and she's got used to that. We've not let her upstairs yet, and she's the kind of dog. She hasn't asked to go upstairs. She wouldn't just go upstairs without being asked. Likewise, she won't just jump on the sofa. She sits and waits for you to say, come on up. Do you want to come up? And she'll jump up.
Right.
But, we're practicing sort of clipping a lead on. And, I clipped the lead on. That was fine. And then I went to sort of take it off again. And I moved. It was totally my fault. I moved too fast and she bit me.
Oh,
Not seriously, but she sort of jumped and I surprised her and she sort of and had a couple of little quick nips at me. And it was just, then she was kind of, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
And it was kind of, no, it's fine. I'm not going to shout and say bad dog because it's kind of, that was my fuck up. That was me. I didn't make it clear to her what I was doing and I did it the wrong way. But clearly she has an issue and it is about the collar. But I think it's one of those things with any rescue dog, and particularly one who's been traumatized, just take some patience, some understanding, some love.
Yeah.
And I've been reading upon dog psychology to try and, understand the body language.
Yeah.
There's it's interesting, there's lots of signs you don't realize. And a lot of what you think you know about dogs is, to use a technical term, bollocks. Because a lot of dog training that you've all absorbed it's based on research that has now been completely binned because it was research done with wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So all this alpha dog business, like if the dog comes and begs you, growl at it and show you're the alpha male, forget it. That's rubbish. Because all you do is traumatize the dog. Bad behavior breeds bad behavior.
Yeah.
And you win a dog's trust by being nice, and you build a bond. And nice behaviour encourages good behaviour. So it's kind of for the guarding. We've been playing a little game that she loves, where we have a treat, which we throw and say over there, and she runs off and grabs it. Or we throw a toy and say over there, and she runs off and do it. And we use the same thing to say come, you know what I mean? And she's a quick learner. She learns, you know what I mean? It's kind of, she knew nothing when she went to the dog's trust, but it's like she needs brushing, and they've trained her. She has her own little step which they made. And when you brush her, you say, get on your step, and she gets on this step, and you can brush her. And when she's sort of had enough, and she's feeling kind of like, right, you're stressing me out, she steps off it. And they've taught her that. So she's a very smart dog, and she's learning really quickly. So, I mean, it wasn't a serious bite. It was just a nip. I mean, it was kind of like, I felt dreadful because, oh, God, I didn't mean to freak you out. But, frankly, she wasn't freaked out with me. She actually came and sat and cuddled up me next and like, oh, God, I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry too. And you know what I mean? It wasn't aggressive. So, but, it's going to be a rewarding experience. And to be honest, even though she's got these like guarding issue and she's a bit nervous, if she sat on the couch with me and Teresa and Wilders moved, she's like kind of, you're not going to shift me, are you? And she is just now relaxing, going, no, these people aren't like that.
Yeah, it's
considering it's kind of
trust, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know what I mean? Like 4:30, she has a tea about 4:30. They told her today. Went down, started preparing at 4:20. 4:30, she trots into the kitchen. But is the bowl ready?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of, yep, I like this. I mean, if you had a pup, you'd have so much more work. I mean, you know what I mean? We've had a couple of nights. She's just gone to a basket bed, slept through. I mean, we got up 7:30, and she looked at her. No, I'm not getting up. You can get up at 7:30. I'm not. 8:30, I'll get up. I'll get up for my breakfast and go out in the garden to do my business. So it's kind of, this is good, isn't it? This is, people are wary of rescue dogs, but it's kind of, even though she has some issues, which will take a bit of patience and a bit of being careful, but it's not rocket science. It's less work than training a puppy from scratch.
Yeah.
It would have been crapping everywhere and backing the place down probably. So,
yeah. If next door's anything to go by,
exactly. Yeah, well, indeed. So,
yeah,
I think it's working out well. I think tomorrow I will actually take her out for a walk. We were going to leave another couple of days, but when we did have the lead on, and she was looking at us kind of funny and said, "Oh, right, well, I'll take you for a walk around the back garden." She got out and said, "Is this it?" She looked at me in that kind of, really? This? I thought we were doing something good. Rubbish. And I went out the shop and I was putting my coat on and she was like, oh, are we going out then? Like, no, not you, not today.
No.
But so tomorrow we'll take her out for her first little walk and go around the park, probably just round the corner, and where she can have a good sniff around.
Nice.
So yes, it's all been good. We're
She's
very, very, very happy.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, that's really good. Nice positive story. We don't get many of them these days, so that's good.
No. Well, this is it. This is my excuse to post lots of cute dog pictures of her.
Yeah.
Probably infinitum now, I'll be honest.
Well, don't worry. Everyone does this phase online. If it's not dogs or cats, it's kids. And if it's not dogs, cats, or kids, it's usually dinner. So, so one way or the other, it'll come round. Don't worry. Everyone gets to this phase in their life. No, well, that's cool, Jim. That's cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okie dokie. Anything else, sir?
No, that'll be it for me.
Okie dokie. Then, in which case, we shall move on to you then, Elton. How's your week been, sir?
Very well. I'm burnt out. I really am burnt out. I'm looking forward. I've got a week off at the end of October. And we were planning on having a little holiday somewhere else.
Okay.
Because, number one, it's not staycation, because that's American. It's holiday over here. Thank you very much.
Jesus
But that's me just being a dick. We're probably just going to be hanging around the house now and maybe visiting a bit of family, I suppose. But I can't wait for my week off.
Yeah.
I've got one this month. I've got 1 week next month, and possibly 2 weeks in December. But
nice.
We'll see how it goes anyway. So, lo and behold, something will happen, and that'll all be taken away from me. But just burnt out. And then old fucking fanny face McDougal twit over the road keeps barking in my space, and it's just like, I can't wait to move. I can't wait to go now. I need to go now, because now you're screwing my life up. And I'm at that point where I'm driving home, and I'm getting 15 minutes away from my house, and I'm thinking, am I going to be able to park outside my house now? And it's just a routine of my life now. It's just stressing me out. I know it sounds silly, but I'm 42. I need a driveway now. I fucking need a driveway.
Wow.
I've never had one, and I'm gagging for one. So I can't wait to move.
Nice. Are you going on your last day when you leave? When you leave, are you actually going to just leave a curly turd on his lawn or something?
I was actually thinking that.
Yeah, I was thinking more, the big truck in Back to the Future with all the cow manure.
Oh, yeah.
Just dump in that where I normally park, so them fuckers can't park there. Just fuck you guys, you utter bastards. Up yours and suck on this.
On the day you leave, just dig up the road. Just dig up the road outside your house. Just wander off.
I might start collecting them diversion signs and just divert everyone away from the road.
That's it.
Road closed.
Road closed. Yeah.
Just have them go round in a circle.
Yeah.
Or what was it? Or is it loads of road cones? Loads of road cones just blocking the road off with no idea of where anything's going.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to get some of them then.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
Apart from that, there's... hang on, I've got a little list here. Not a little list.
He's got a list.
A list of 2 things I've just written down.
A list of 2.
And I've already done one. Among Us, you mentioned it last week.
Yes.
And the kids have been playing it. It has been on my phone.
Yes.
But I haven't really played it yet. But we all sat down this weekend to have a go of it.
Yeah.
Man, that's good.
It's good, isn't it?
That's good fun, that is.
How many arguments did you get into?
I think I did the dad thing of when I got killed, I went, oh, it was Orange! What was Orange doing? And the kids just went, oh, Dad, don't do that.
No, you're not supposed to ruin it.
But we played like a little private game where 4 of us had a little phone or iPad each.
Yep.
And sat around in like a little square in the front room.
Yeah.
Playing it, and just looking at your screen when you die, you're like, can't say anything, can't look at anyone. Oh my god!
Yeah, it is great. You're going.
Do you know, it's such a silly little game, but I got so much fun out of it. It was pleasant, a pleasant hour just faffing around on the phone, but with people as well. It was good.
Yeah. Emergency meeting.
Yeah. Now I'm recognising all these memes that people will start being putting around the internet. And
You're
I'm like,
welcome.
Oh, I recognise that now. Yes, I understand.
Orange is the imposter. Orange looks a bit sus.
Anything orange is sus, yes.
Yeah, that's it.
And I saw a film today.
Oh boy.
I got that reference.
Yeah. Come on. you get in there, Elton. We're working on you.
I was trying to think of the next line. I couldn't think of it. Oh, 4,000. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. I was doing some research for the Indeterminate Weeks of Horror.
Oh yes.
And I saw a film and it said horror, and I thought, I'll check this one out because I haven't heard you guys speak about it yet.
Right.
I thought, that might work. I don't think it will quite work for the Indeterminate Weeks of Horror, but man, it's a trippy movie.
Yeah.
And I won't be putting it forward, so I'm allowed to mention it now.
Okay.
Midsommar.
Midsommar.
Sorry. Midsommar.
Yes.
Have you guys seen it?
No.
Not yet. It's on Amazon Prime, but it's long. I keep going, it's a bit long.
It is a bit long, yes.
I couldn't stand fucking Hereditary, which was the guy by the same guy. So I'm a bit wary about going to watch this, especially if it's just a cut price Wicker Man. But go on, carry on.
Ah, okay, yeah, it is kind of cut price Wicker Man.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's very trippy, lots of acid, and goes into. It's not quite as horror as what I was expecting it to be. There's hardly any blood whatsoever, but it's more like the mind fuck that goes along with it, and situations where people are stuck in, and all of a sudden that person's not there. You're like, oh, okay,
yeah. I heard there was a novel use for a bear.
Yes. Do you remember Keith Lemon? Is it Keith Lemon? He used to be in a bear.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah. Okay.
But without the enlarged penis.
Well, I'm not entirely sure that's not entirely true.
Oh, yeah, it's true, yeah.
I haven't even seen this film, but so I have been clued in on certain bits. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, it's like the Keith Lemon bit, isn't it? I was just like, oh yeah, now it all makes sense.
It's Keith Lemon's cheese dream,
and now it's not so dark. It's just a bit weird. I would recommend it just for a watch, just to say that you've seen it and to enjoy it. I think it's more enjoyed on a nice, beautiful summer day, though.
Okay.
Just to get the ambience of it. Instead of a dark, cold, windy night, doesn't quite work as well. I think during the summer, open the doors up, watch this, and then you'll be like, I'm going to steer clear of the tea today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is different. It is different. But then again, have I actually seen the original? I don't think I've seen the original Wicker Man. I've seen the Cage version.
The bees! The bees! Not the bees! Oh, God, not the bees!
But I haven't seen the original version of it, but I'm well aware of it. So, yeah, I can see why people turn around and say cut price Wicker Man, yeah.
Okay, right. Is this on your list to watch, Jim, or have you watched this?
I didn't mean to watch it, but I say it is kind of. I look and go, oh god, it's long. I'm a bit old now.
Yeah, it's about 2:20, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's kind of the same thing. There's a Suspiria remake, but I did finally. I thought I should do this. I'll take it off and I'll take it away. So I did do that, and I was pleased I did. But it's kind of I meant to watch Midsommar over the summer, and then it just got really dark and overcast. I thought it'll brighten up and we'll have this, with the bottles of rosé on a fine summer night. And it just didn't quite pan out that way. Stupid me, relying on the British weather.
It doesn't really strike me as a film that you sit there drinking rosé and having cheese on the veranda while you're watching basically something like a Wicker Man.
Well, basically, I watch all movies with wine and cheese now. I'm at that stage of life. Fuck popcorn. Right. I'm not a child. Give me a nice Merlot. It's a mature cheddar. Yeah. And fuck the waistline, it's the end of the world. Bollocks.
I was going to say at this point, I think this podcast is going to be called the Big Gout Podcast. The way we're going through cheese and wine. Cool. Okay. So you'd recommend Midsommar then, Elton?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd recommend that and Among Us as well. So
I love Among Us. I think it was great fun.
It's a quirky little game. I don't know if I could play it for hours and hours and hours on end, but I'm well up for getting a group of people online and doing it. That would be great.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't remember how we set up an online game privately for everyone.
Right.
But that would be good to do.
Would we have to talk over Skype or something, though?
No, because you can talk through the little chat box, can't you, see?
Oh, like the typey chat box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be quite funny.
Maybe,
that could be the crappiest Twitch ever. I think if you bought it on PC, you can actually buy the PC and the PC version and all of the DLC and all the extras and everything for about £12.
Right, oh, blimey, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyway, so it's it is a lot of fun though. It is quite fun. Cool. Anything else, sir?
No, that's it. That's it for me.
Okay, right. And in which case, it's over to you then, Dal. How's your week been, sir?
Oh, quite boring, really. There's not really much gone on.
Yeah.
It's just the only time I get to go out now is to go to work.
Nice.
That's it. It's like once every week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm going tomorrow, actually, going back into London. So, avoiding all the peasants on the train.
The plague beasts.
The plague beasts, yes. So I shall be all masked up and, fucking antibacterial wipes, flamethrower, you name it. It'll all be coming with me.
Nice.
But there you go. But to start this week, what I did do is I did watch something that you watched last week, Lee.
And that is?
And that is Enola Holmes.
Yes.
Yep, and I've got to say, it was as much of a laugh as I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
And I do see what you say about Henry Cavil.
Yeah,
with the shirts.
the most ripped Sherlock Holmes ever to grace the screen. I mean, he literally just went in and went, I'm a size 15 across the chest. I think what I'll do is I'll go and get a size 11.
Well, there is that one bit where he walks into the police station and the cop tries to stop him and he goes, don't be ridiculous. And the cop's like, oh, all right, yeah. And he just sits the fuck down again.
Hardest working buttons in showbiz, those fucking shirt buttons.
Fucking hell, aren't they just? I think it's just painted onto his body. It must be. They can't be real buttons, can they?
No, I don't think so. Not unless they were made of titanium and that fucking shirt's made of Kevlar.
Yeah.
Though it was mentioned on the Facebook group by Michael Cornett, aka the Belly Stapler, that he didn't see a problem with Henry Cavill in tight shirts. I don't understand. He didn't understand why we were getting so upset, like it was a bad thing.
Oh, I don't know what his reasoning would be. I don't know why he would think that.
I have
really
no
don't.
idea why he would be thinking such things.
No, I don't know why he would take such long, ponderous moments to think of Henry Cavil in a tight shirt. Not at all.
Yeah, apparently his Netflix has been stuck on a single frame for the last 6 hours. Netflix is sending an engineer around.
Yeah, they keep sending him emails. Can we have our frame back, please?
Yeah.
Other people need to watch this.
He's burnt into the image on the screen. He's been left on. Anyway, carry on.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, we all did. We all sat around and watched that, and yeah, it's just such a great, fun little film.
Yeah,
So yes, that's a thumbs up from me. However,
yes.
what wasn't quite such a thumbs up?
Right.
Last week, again, you mentioned that you played Doom.
Yeah, the old one, the 2016 one.
The 2016 one. So I thought I'd take it up a notch because Doom Eternal became part of the Xbox thing that I'm signed up to, where you get to play games, as many games as you like, for like, a tenner a month.
Yeah, the Live Pass or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that one there. So I installed it, and let's just say, imagine, right, picking up a joypad, right, looking up to get ready to play a game, and the game is basically just someone sitting in front of you screaming in your face for the duration of it.
Nice.
That's it, just constantly screaming at you.
Right.
Right, and then giving you, as they're doing this, handing you a bag of sugar. Right, okay, expecting you to eat the entire bag of sugar and getting you to wash it down with like 12 Red Bull. Okay? Because it's just that. It's just noise. I mean, Doom itself, right, is, there's not really much of a story to do. I mean, they've tried, they've tried in the past. Doom 3D had a bit of a storyline to it. Even 2016's one's got a bit of a story.
Yeah.
But this one is it just doesn't seem like there's any point to it. It's just go in and just fire a gun at anything that just moves.
Well,
there's no strategy involved at all.
That is kind of the point, though, isn't it? That is Doom in a nutshell. If someone was to say what is Doom, it'd be just like someone running around punching demons from hell and hitting them with the soggy end of whatever it is you just ripped off them.
Oh, that was the best part of the experience. Yeah. They've still got that in the new one, where you're like, you literally, there's one bit, I've got this this skeleton in body armour type thing. It comes at me. So I shoot it once and it flashes orange, and so I hit the punch button and he just brings the fist down on top of its head and pushes its head straight through the top of the armour. So you've got all you've got is like this normal body but with a pair of eyes where the head would be, and that's it.
Nice.
So those bits very comical, but I thought no, that's it, I'm done.
Oh, right.
So so uninstalled that straight away.
Nice.
But there you go.
But you didn't spend any money on it, so that's it.
No, I didn't spend any money. I just went back to playing No Man's Sky again, which is getting better and better the more I play it. And now I've discovered what the Desolation DLC is all about. And can I just mention, by the way, for a game that really kind of fucked it up, right?
Shit the bed on its launch.
It shit the bed on its launch. The team that's actually repaired this, right? They've gone like, okay, let's fix this. The giant DLC that they've released about 7 or 8 great big pieces of DLC for this, and it's all been free, right? There's no microtransactions in this game whatsoever. So not only are you not paying for these big updates, and I mean, we're talking about, we've got Desolation now. What that is it gives you, what it does is it brings in Space Hulks now. So what you do is you'll get a tip-off that there's like an old freighter or something hanging around the planet, and you have to go on there in the dark and try and just mine the resources off this thing, find various bits of equipment and whatever. And it's always random, the whole thing. You're never quite sure what you're going to find on board. And it's things like you got to keep your heat up, so you have to find like the heat generators within each of the rooms, activate those, and you see like your heat resistance or your cold resistance going down if you stray too far from these things. So yeah, it's like basically like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. Every time you go into a new room, switch the heaters on first, and then go about your business. You know, so yeah, I've got to say, highly recommend No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
yeah, it's really, really good. It's got an awful lot of stuff in it, a lot more than it did have in there now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
There you go, and that's me.
That
I'm
is
done.
you, and that is you, is it?
Yeah, peace out.
Peace
5,000
out.
G.
Mic drop. Boom.
Yeah, word to your mother. Whatever one. I don't care. You pick. There we go.
Peace out. OMG. Bang.
Yo, Doug, do that Ricky Jam on the groove.
What? What? Anyway, okay then. Well, my week's pretty quick, to be honest. Basically, I've had a colossally awful bloody cold for the last 4 or 5 days. I mean, today's
COVID.
Yeah, well, no, I'm almost immune. I think I'm just gonna go stand on the precipice and taking my
You've had the best cold. You've had the best cold.
Yeah,
the best cold.
I'm practically immune. Prat. Anyway, yeah. So no, it's definitely a cold because I think I mentioned this before, but we're getting this thing from the Office of Officers Vital Statistics or whatever it is, Officers National Statistics. Sorry.
Yeah, my mum's signed up for that.
Yeah, and they basically come around once a week for the first month, and they just test you. And so if I had COVID by now, I'd bloody know it. In fact, the whole family's getting tested, so you know we're being tested regularly.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a cold, but it's just starting to leave me. I mean, I've still got a remnant of a cough, which you may occasionally hear, and I'm sorry if I don't hit the mute quick enough. But yeah, today's like the first day I've actually not been sounding like this, and yeah, and basically that knocked me for 6 for pretty much the whole of the for the last few days. Movie wise, not really watched an awful lot. We did watch The Corpse Bride again, which has been a long time since I watched that. And
how was that?
I've got to be honest with you, it's fucking rubbish. But you know, it's okay. It's a Tim Burton. It's a Tim Burton like animation, and so you either go with it or you don't. But for me, the problem I have with it is it just wraps itself up too neatly and is over and done within 90 minutes, and you sort of sitting there going, oh, it just ended. And
that was that then.
Yeah, and it has the Raiders of the Lost Ark style. Well, it wouldn't have mattered what the hero did because things sorted themselves out by themselves. But anyway, but it's a kids thing, so you know I don't mind. So I just leave it as that. But the only other thing that's happened this week for me is I have been playing Star Wars Squadrons, which came out this week.
Ooh.
On the PlayStation. I've only played three missions so far, so this isn't like a full review. But essentially, all I've got to say, which just sums it all up in a nutshell, is if you are of an age that you remember such games as X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, TIE Fighter, and obviously X-Wing, this is exactly that game. Exactly that game. 100% that game. There is no two ways about it. There are escort missions. There are missions where you basically have to blow up Star Destroyers, but it has one nifty little trick, which you learn quite quickly, which is essentially you build an Imperial pilot and a Rebel pilot, or a new Rebel Alliance pilot, or whatever they're called, New Republic.
Yeah.
And essentially, you can be playing a mission, and you'll be halfway through playing as like the TIE Fighter, and you play your fucking arse off. You're sort of, hey, I'm taking everyone out, blowing up all these X-wings, ha 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 ha, sort of thing. And then you get about halfway through the mission. Suddenly, the mission pauses. Suddenly, you find yourself in an X-wing in the same mission, playing the other end.
Nice.
And it does that a few times. And it's actually in service of the story. Now, the story's not very long from what I understand, but each of the missions is like on their own. They're checkpointed, so you can drop out at any time. But essentially, each mission is about 15 to 20 minutes long to play. So they are quite hefty missions. And there are little bits where you can talk to the different characters, just like in old X-Wing, where you can sort of see all the people standing in a hangar and you just sort of point at them and they just give you their little backstory and that sort of thing. But the AI for the AI for your wingmen is very good. The flight mechanics is very good. It's just a really solid little fighting game. The one thing I would say is it feels like a game from previous generations. You know that nowadays you would actually walk around a full-blown hangar. You would walk around your spaceship. But what they've done is they've got the old BioWare thing of you just click at a person, suddenly a screen pops up, and you're talking to that person face to face, sort of thing. It is still in 3D, so it's not quite that blunt, but it is that thing of you can see where they've said, "Well, fuck it. That will take longer than fucking we need to build a full-blown 3D hangar when all we could do is just have a picture of a hangar and some 3D characters wandering about."
Yeah.
And there's a few bits like that. So, like, to give you the background of the story, it's like a little motion video. There's no 3D Darth Vader going, "Oh, yes, send out the Imperials." It's just like a cardboard cutout of Darth Vader with some TIE fighters flying through his shadow sort of thing.
Right.
So there's lots of little things like that where you sort of think, yeah, I'm playing a game from 1990 with the sort of presentation of a game from 2007. But
that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, but on technology from 2020. It's just like, because everything is super slick. I mean, super slick. The first time I went up against a Star Destroyer, and it is proper bum puckering, because these things are fucking enormous. And you realise quite how big one of these things is. And you're like, whew, okay, I'll just be flying over this for a few minutes. But, it's got all the old X-Wing stuff of, I'm going up against something really, really big. Best I put all my power to the shields. But I'll lose my maneuverability on my engines and I won't have as much firepower, but that will get me to a position where I can hide behind the cannons, and then I can turn all my shields off and ramp up my guns, and you're power managing like a little fucking Oompa Loompa with a chocolate high. You're sort of flipping around going, "Oh, turn all the power off, turn it all off, turn it all off." But you've got little extra bits where you can customize your ship and put in things like R2 units, which will give you repair abilities and and extra cannons and all this kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of customization to it. But I have not played multiplayer because the game insists that if you to stand any chance in this game playing multiplayer, you must play and finish the campaign.
Right.
You can jump into multiplayer if you want.
Yeah.
But I got a taste of what multiplayer would be like just by sort of just jumping into quick match. I think I lasted about as long as it took me to turn the power on.
Oh dear, really?
And I just went, "Way!" And then I saw a little TIE fighter and I went, "I'm going to get you." And I went, "Fire, fire, fire." Oh, I've run out of bullet power. Oh, they've shot the shit out of me.
Bullet power? Yeah,
well, the thing is, you if you don't balance the power, so if you don't put power to your fire, to your phasers or your lasers, then you've got a charge.
Oh, right, okay.
And so the more you fire, the more that charge drops. So you've got to put all the power to the lasers to keep that charge up so you can just keep your finger on the fire button. But by doing that, the power drops from your shields and your engines, so you're not as maneuverable and you're going to take more damage. So, but if you want to be more maneuverable, you throw more power to the engines, but that means you've only got a few shots on your lasers before they run out of charge and have to recharge.
Right.
And then if you're like, well, fuck it, I'm going up against something with lots of cannons and lots of firepower. My guns are pretty much fucking useless. I've got to get in there close enough to fire rockets. Well, then I'll throw all my power to the shields. That means my guns won't work, but my engines won't be fast either. So I've got to fly about but take the damage.
That sounded really, really good up until the point you said, multiplayer. Yes, shot the shit out of straight away.
Yeah.
And I just have flashbacks to Call of Duty and Battlefield and all that lot.
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't take what I said as 100% gospel, because, like I say, the game itself is very much, look, play the fucking campaign first. So it does tell you straight away, get used to flying the ships. Each of the ships has their own way of flying, their own maneuverabilities, their own weaknesses and their own strengths, and the campaign will essentially teach you that. So, and like I say, it's a 9-hour campaign and it's really good. And then there are multiplayer modes which you can play with just AI, where you co-op. So like all four of us could be on one X-Wing fleet playing a multiplayer against some AI. So it's not, because there's some of the multiplayer modes are like, try and attack a Star Destroyer, or try and attack a Rebel cruiser or whatever. And so there's a lot of that kind of thing, like capture the flag kind of thing, where you're flying around trying to blow things up and make way for the rest of your guys' fleet to come in and finish the job. There's lots of different modes, but like I say, just don't get put off by the multiplayer, because literally I knew what I was getting myself into, because I flew in there like a complete dick. It's like giving someone the first car lesson and then sticking them on a motorway and just going, off you go. Yeah, you can drive in a straight line, but at some point that road's going to bend and then someone else is going to go past you. So, I wouldn't get too worried about it yet. I'll probably report back next week and go, fucking online play, bollocks to it. But at the moment, it seems okay. It just seems like my lack of experience is really the problem there.
Right.
But, yeah, the whole flipping between the good and the evil mid-mission, no, that's really good, because sometimes you find yourself playing too good as the TIE fighters, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, fuck, I've lost half my men before I've even started when I've switched to the other side. It's like, bollocks. Why was I so fucking good as a TIE fighter pilot? Bollocks! I wish I was shit in that last bit. So, yeah, that's quite cool. Anyway, that's it, really. I've literally done nothing else apart from work. I mean, I won't go into work, but it's... Yeah, work's been work. But so, yes, let's not worry about that, shall we? Yes. And I've got some other news, but that's I'll leave that till the end of the podcast, because that's something that's happening on Thursday, so it's probably better in next week's cast anyway. But anyway, so on to some feedback before we move on to our first horror movie of the season. And last week we watched Colossal, which I think everyone agreed was a pretty good film, but some had tolerances for certain elements of it more than others, i.e. me. I was a bit, I liked it, but I don't really like the end. The feedback was, like I say, there was Michael Cornett, who basically said, so you talk like Henry Cavil in a tight suit's a bad thing, which we have already discussed, has probably caused him to burn his entire screen to the ground, just burning the image of a sort of Sherlock Holmes in a tight sort of dinner jacket. But anyway, but Peter Organ, the Reverend Peter Organ of the broadcast, did actually come back with the fact that he completely agreed with me on the opinion of Colossal. He said, "There's no way I'll be watching this again. Originally, I thought it was like I saw it and originally saw it thinking it was a comedy with a quirky kaiju twist. It ended up being something far more bleak than an episode of EastEnders written by Werner Herzog." So, yeah, definitely. He's not keen.
Not a fan then.
No.
No.
So there you go. Oh, and this just in. Well, we haven't had news for a while. Here is the news.
There's news?
Yeah, there's news. Apparently, Wonder Woman 1984 is actually going to go straight to streaming.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh God! Now that we've lost June and fucking James Bond. Oh, damn you, coronavirus! Will 2020 never end?
I think this is possibly the end of cinema.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think so. You've got Disney, who went out there and made a shit ton of money from Mulan.
Not as much as they would have done, though.
No, but they still made a shit ton of money, though. Right? By just putting it out there and taking in the revenue from that stream, rather than, giving any of that over to Cineworld or whatever to play the movie, right? They've taken all that profit on board themselves. So, really, when it comes to the grand scheme of things, I think they actually did pretty fucking well with Mulan. So, now they've seen they can do that, and they've got their own streaming service there, and people are willing to pay through the nose to watch these films. Yeah.
It's just going to get worse then. Is that your opinion, yeah?
Yeah, I think now people, because people have paid for it and they want to see it, they've kind of helped with the downfall of cinema.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
Yeah,
I
this is
think
why
they're suckers for paying for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like what happened with, was it Bethesda, when they first brought out fucking paid for, they were the first company to do it, Bethesda, right? They brought out paid DLC for Elder Scrolls, right? It was bloody horse armour. People bought it, and that's why now you get charged for DLC because of that, because the model worked. And everybody went, oh, there's an idea. Yeah, let's fucking charge them for this as well.
Yep. Yeah, I blame Xbox players for the price hike in the PlayStation Network, because PlayStation Network was free to play on. Thank you very much. And everyone on Xbox was paying for that, and PlayStation went, okay, you want to pay for it? Okay, we'll do that.
I will say one thing, not wishing to turn this into a proper video game podcast.
Yeah.
But I will say that the one difference between the PlayStation Online and Xbox Online was that, and I found this more and more as I'm playing PlayStation, is that when I wanted to play multiplayer with Darren on the Xbox, I just put the game in, hit the multiplayer option inside the game, and then chose to play with Darren, and we played. Whereas in the PlayStation version, I play golf with Jess every week, and what you do is you go into the game, then you go, I'm going to set up a group.
Oh, for fuck's sake, really?
So you set up a group, invite Jess to the group, then you go and set up a private game. You invite Jess to the private game, but he's already in your fucking group. But this is just so you can chat. And it's just like, fuck me. I mean, it would be quicker for me to just pick my fucking controller up, go round his house and play the fucking thing together.
So at what point does it ask for your papers?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Why would you be going out of the country?
Why would you be going? Why are you going to Barnard Castle? So PlayStation, may well be jumping in on the old Xbox thing, but what you paid for with Xbox, and the reason why Xbox is still the most successful online service after Steam, is the same reason Steam is. It's convenience, whereas PlayStation,
it's going free soon as well. They're getting rid of the all that you're going to be paying for is if you want the gaming service, the one that I've got, the bloody Game Pass. Yeah, you can go for Ultimate on that one, and that's the thing you'll pay for, because Gold is going to be free after a certain while, and they're chucking in the EA Play with Game Pass. Nice. As well. So now the other service you used to have to pay for, you're getting that for free. Nice. Or you're getting that piled in with what you've already got. I'm never going to have to buy another game again.
Well,
that's it.
No. Right, okay, let's stop that before we get in this news bollocks, because as we found out years ago, this thing kind of doesn't date us very well. I'm sure there's people still going back to episode 1, hearing us go Prometheus news now.
No, it's Avatar, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Avatar, wasn't
Avatar news now.
it? Avatar news now. And then
Christian Bale, take a drink.
Yeah. Oh God, remember that? Remember those days?
I remember those days. Yes.
Oh, speaking of last bit of feedback was from Michael Wilding on the Facebook group, and he said, "This is how I pictured Lee on this cast, the last week's cast," and he's got a picture of Fry from Futurama, basically endlessly drinking cups of coffee and shaking like he's in a paint mixer. I
Not far wrong, was it?
Oh, he wasn't far wrong. I mean, I'm sure everyone can tell the difference between last week Lee and this week Lee. Because I'm actually taking a breath. Right, okay, well, in which case, let's get ready to roll the jingle. And we shall do this week's first horror film for the season, which is Hellhouse LLC. Right, roll the jingle. Nudie ladies.
Nudie.
Look at
nudie
them
ladies.
dance. Look at
Look
them
at
dance.
the nudie ladies.
They're dancing all in the flames. They
Look
are
at the
scary.
socially distancing nudie ladies.
Yes, they are all wearing masks.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, kinky.
Oh, scary nudie ladies dancing in the flames. Oh, what? Yes, cover up that nose, ladies. Keep distance. Oh,
Shut up!
making the jingle on the fly. Who could go wrong? Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first first of our Indeterminate Weeks of Horror. If you didn't know what the hell that was the theme to Tales of the Unexpected. I'll let you work out the rest of what we're talking about. Google it, for God's sakes, you millennial bastards. Anyway, so we are reviewing. Oh God, I wasn't quite expecting that door to close like that. But Hellhouse LLC.
LL Cool J.
LL Cool J.
Can we keep calling it? Because I keep going to call it LL Cool J.
Yeah, Hellhouse.
Ladies love Cool J.
Yeah, house like a shark's fin.
He's a ladies' love legend in leather, long and lean, and he don't wear pleather. Last of the red hot loving MCs. Blah 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 blah.
Love is like a shark's fin. Yeah. Anyway, Hellhouse LLC, LL Cool J. Fuck you, Darren. What have you done to me now? Hellhouse.
House of Hell LEB.
LWT. Hellhouse MOT is. Hellhouse RAC is oh, for God's sakes, Hellhouse. Let's just call it Hellhouse. Is a 2015 American found footage horror film written by Stephen Cognetti and produced by FBI Films. The film is shot as a documentary and follows a group of Halloween haunted house creators as they prepare for a 2009 opening of a popular haunted house attraction, Hell House. Tragedy strikes on the opening night.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, time to be nice. Then there's time not to be nice. Yeah, suddenly Patrick Swayze coming out with LL Cool J. Ah!
Oh, good Lord.
Tragedy strikes on the opening night when there's an unknown malfunction that causes the death of 15 tour goers and staff. The film reveals the lead up and to the tragedy and documenting exactly what went wrong on the night, and which has been a mystery to the public ever since. The film was released on an on-demand platform including Amazon, Shudder, YouTube, Vidoo, whatever that is, and iTunes on November 2016. There's no budget or nothing about this at all. There were 2 sequels. I'm not entirely sure we'll actually get around to reviewing them, but we'll see. And yeah, there's nothing else really more about it. I mean, it tells you more about the wiki tells you more about the sequels than the than the main film. So we'll leave it there. Right, Jim, you're the one who's actually seen this, so we'll leave you till last.
Okie dokie.
But generally, just wanting top line what everyone thought about it before we get into the discussion about it. So we'll start with you, Darren.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think generally? Just one or two lines.
It's 1 or 2 lines.
Yep.
It was okay.
Right.
I shall elaborate more later.
Okie dokie. Right, fair enough. And over to our resident roast potato man for these things. We, for those of you who have joined us in version 2, Elton often would rather watch his roast potatoes than watch a really scary horror film. So it has now become the scale for all horror films, Black Dog reviews. So the roast potatoes, sir, how was it? How were we on the roast potato scale?
Well, we all know that I don't like scary movies, and this scared me.
Right.
So it did its job.
Right.
Hey!
Hey!
Mission accomplished for this Halloween.
That's
Pleased.
it, Jim. That's it, Jim. We can all
We've got
go...
a bona fide roast potato, Scott. I'm happy. Job done.
Yeah. Your move, Nazis. Ah! Good work. Okay. So Jim can go home early now. So go on in, Elton.
I thought it was pretty good, actually. It had genuine moments of oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and I found because I was watching this on my phone. I know it's not the greatest way of watching a thing, but I if I'm watching a film and the phone's getting further and further away from me, I tend to think that helps, but it doesn't. I'm still scared, but just got my arms out straight.
You've got further to go to turn the bloody thing off. Right. Okay. And in terms of roast potatoes?
Ooh, I would say about 7 out of 10.
Ooh, that's a solid. That's a solid
good
score.
one.
Wow,
That's a good
that
one.
really is good, isn't it?
Yeah, that is good. Okay. Well, for me, I will say there was a lot about this I liked a lot. There were a few moments where I kind of went, "Oh," where it felt like it shot his bolt a bit too early, or fluffed it a little bit. But for the most part, for found footage movies which have kind of quite a wildly varying quality level, I thought this was on the upper end, and I quite like this. I did like this for what it tried to do and how it tried to do it. So there you go. But what about you, Jim?
I enjoyed going back to this one this time because it was one of those things. I spotted a few things this time that I didn't see the first time because they do some very neat things. Of really early on, before they've mentioned stuff, there's things that if you look carefully, you just see in the corner. In particular, just figures stood in the corner of the room where there shouldn't be anybody there.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, and just a few just nice little things that I thought kind of, actually that was really well done. Kind of some of the way they stage things, like the shots from the early on of going to the cellar.
Yes.
And it's just kind of like the weird numbers, and you just sort of, when you know where it's all going, all those things take on a different significance. Go, I know what that is now.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
Yeah, I know where we're going with this. Yeah, yeah. I was going to say. I mean, I will be honest with you. I was getting a lot of that sort of sense when, especially the way the camera sort of kept spinning left and right, and occasionally you'd see people standing in the doorway, and you're kind of supposed to ignore it. I got what I started to call the Mr. Pipes vibe.
Yes, very much so.
And it was just like, yeah. And do you know Mr. Pipes, Elton?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I watched that live.
Yes, as did I. Then we had a power fucking cut, which made things even worse.
Ooh,
That was,
wow, that was really bad.
yeah, that was a bad one. Yeah, but that was during the era of power cuts, random power cuts, wasn't it? But anyway, yeah, okay. So right, let's get on to it. So first off, let's just talk about the general genre, the found footage genre. How do we all feel about that generally?
Well, when it comes to found footage, now, just to give you some context, well, actually, I'll just say it. I think Lake Mungo spoiled me for this kind of thing, right? by the way that, all right, I'm not saying Lake Mungo is the best film ever, but the actors certainly knew how to do a found footage film. Okay, because there is a certain way you should be doing this. You shouldn't be acting, you should just be reacting. One of the best ways to do a found footage film is not give anybody a script, right?
Yeah.
So, to me, what this film looked like was somebody watching, or you're watching a soap opera and somebody shaking the telly from there every once in a while, right? The acting style didn't match, as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't realistic enough. People were, the conversations were too ordered. It was like, this person speak, now this person speak, now this person speak. And as we all know, in real life, conversations don't go like that. People talk over the top of one another. There's like, people coming in at the end, overlapping. It didn't seem organic enough. It just seemed like they were acting in a film. And it's like, no.
Right.
So that took me out of it sometimes, the way they did that. So, yeah, I mean, you've got to, I think with this sort of thing, you've really got to do it well for it to be good. Because otherwise, it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I mean it's strange, isn't it? Because for me, it's one of those things that when you look at a found footage film, it is one of those things that on paper should be the easiest thing in the world to pull off, but to pull it off properly and convincingly is always a tough ask.
Oh God, yeah.
Because it does turn into that whole thing of, does it feel natural? Does it feel right? We've seen so many documentaries and so many slick documentaries nowadays from things like Netflix. And even when they're trying to be slick, you still see a certain roughness about the way things are deployed. The way people talk. The way people look away. The way they don't quite hit their marks. All this kind of thing. So to do a found footage film and convincingly do a documentary around it takes a real skill. I think a skill that a lot of people underestimate. I mean, what about you guys, Jim, Elton? I mean, what do you feel about with found footage films?
Well, the thing is, I think can we just like clarify as well? To kind of people tend to lump things in together, and it's kind of like Lake Mungo has some found footage in it, but it's a mockumentary.
Yeah.
Whereas Blair Witch Project is kind of like your pure...
Yeah, you found footage.
Here, these are tapes. Look, watch them with nothing else. This one is kind of in between. I thought it made a wise choice to kind of pitch it as this is some kind of like, the kind of documentary you find on YouTube. Which is leaning into the kind of the budget they had and how much they could pull off. But for me, I think for found footage, there's kind of like there's a big sliding scale. I think it's very hard to do well, and there's a lot of terrible ones. I mean, God knows, when I was reviewing horror movies for Geek Planet Online a few years ago, it's kind of like every other disc I got was some half-assed found footage movie, normally with kids going to some abandoned hospital or asylum, and just a lot of just running around in the dark. And the worst you get from it is motion sickness.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I sort of stuck this on Amazon with kind of shall we say, a certain amount of trauma with found footage. It's not exactly my favourite genre because like zombie movies, I've sat through so many bad ones. It's kind of, oh, really, do I have to? And so this one's kind of, I wouldn't say it's kind of, it's not up with Lake Mungo or Borderlands, which I think kind of, for me, are kind of like the high watermarks of it.
Definitely.
But it's pretty decent, though, I think. It's kind of, I like kind of, they did a few things that were just had a bit more story to it, and I don't know. There's a few things I thought that were just kind of like quite clever, and I say it's considering it was kind of like a first movie as well, and done with no money. I think they achieved something quite well. There's a film that came out at the same time called The Houses That October Built, which is quite similar.
Right.
And that's kind of like found footage video diary of some people who are kind of who go round touring these like haunt attractions, and they hear rumours of this one that's like really extreme. It's underground. It's not a bad movie, but it doesn't have that kind of like, oh my god, did I just see that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just going, yeah, they're gonna find these people. It's gonna be fucking awful, isn't it? And they're gonna regret it. Oh yeah, they did.
Who knew?
You know what I mean? Whereas this is kind of, you're not entirely sure what's going to happen, or you know what I mean? It just doesn't. It just throws a few little curveballs in, which make it stand out from the pack.
Yeah. Cool. And what about you, Elton? I mean, Elton?
Hello.
Hello.
That wasn't me snoring. That was Darren.
It's gone.
No, I know that was. Yeah, I know that was. I've got the meters. I can see who's snoring. No. So what about you? I mean, have you seen many found footage films? I mean, I don't. It sounds patronising, but it's just like,
No, that's cool.
you're not a horror film fanatic, are you? So
No, I'm not. I tend to steer clear up until October. Weirdly enough,
yeah,
when you guys throw films at me, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake!
It's the worst time of year.
Yeah, I really don't like. It was last week, and you guys went, oh yeah, it's the horror one. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake!
Damn, they've remembered.
Yeah. But I like the idea of the genre. I think it's a great idea. When I saw Blair Witch for the very first time, I really liked that. Something just clicked with me on that, and the punchline at the end was, oh, that sent shivers down my spine. The problem, I think, a little bit with this one is not the actual found footage. It's more the talking heads.
Right, yeah.
It's very hard to get that right, actually. That's a common failing in mockumentaries, I'd say. Because people think it's easy, but it's not. It's just getting the right phrasing, and I don't know. It's very hard to define how it should be done, but it's very hard to be convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought they did it very, very well on this one. I think you guys have said it in the past where you need a reason to be showing it on video. You need a reason to be pointing it. And having a guy document them opening up this hell house, it gives you the reason straight away.
Yeah.
And you do get creepy vibes all the way through this.
Yeah, that was just from the cameraman, you know. But
but there are some great shots in this as well. Bearing in mind it's just a found footage thing, most of it. There are some really good shots, and I know it clips between found footage and kind of on their shoulder, doesn't it? As well, there's a couple of bits.
Yeah, a couple of them with GoPros, isn't there?
Yeah, and there's also that bit where they're in the like the epicenter of the actual house, looking at all the cameras. That's not really someone over their shoulder videoing it. That's kind of us over their shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah, they do the whole thing of you seeing them putting the camera down, but it's it's quite clearly that's supposed to be a like we've got to break to third person to show this, otherwise it's a bit weird. But yeah.
But do you guys find yourself when you're watching these scary movies and these found footage things, and the camera is panning around, and they are just showing you just enough in the corner to make you intrigued as to what's going over there? Do you find yourself like leaning over to try and see around that corner a little bit? Because I do, and that involves me a lot more. And once I'm involved and hooked, then I'm like, oh god, now I'm in this, and I want to be detached from this so I can watch it work out where all the scares are, and then watch it again, and then be like, oh, yes, that didn't scare me one bit. Oh, dearie me.
Yes.
But no, I can't do it. I get drawn in, and I'm looking around the corner and tilting either the screen or the phone or whatever I'm watching it on, going, oh, it's not working. Oh, okay. Right, and then you lean. It's like playing a motorcycle game, a video game. On
Oh,
your...
yeah, you lean into the turns.
Yeah, you lean, yeah.
Yeah.
I certainly do. I know that. But yeah, I really like the idea. I haven't found the perfect one yet, and it's going to be really hard to make it. I think the Blair Witch comes very close because that just suckered me in. I was an actual sucker. I fell for that one. With all the internet stuff, because the internet being new and stuff like that. So that drew me right in. But I really like the idea. It's a clever thing. You can do so much with it as well. And I think every found footage film needs to be watched and judged on the actual content itself, instead of just turning around and saying, oh, it's just a found footage movie. Because in my very sparse recollection of watching these movies, they're all slightly different.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's the found footage is kind of, as you say, it's a bit easy to dismiss as sort of like a one-off genre that you just go, it's all Blair Witch. But when they do something interesting with it, when they try and do something new and interesting with it, then you kind of go, oh, well, actually, that's a bit of an unfair comparison, isn't it? I mean, my top most found footage movie out of all of these ones is without doubt, and remains until something comes along that really puts the shit.
Cloverfield?
Fuck off. Fucking Cloverfield. Jesus Christ. That's like saying, oh, did you enjoy your £60 steak, sir, as they present you with a fucking rich tea biscuit on a plate? No, thank you. No, fucking wreck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that to me not only ticked all the boxes, but did them perfectly, because what Wreck does, which I don't think any other of the found footage, and that's Blair Witch included, does is as Jim alluded to earlier on, is give you the reason to keep filming by having the thing being a live feed from a TV crew following an emergency situation. You've automatically given license to that cameraman to be there, because he is exactly that. He's a cameraman, and he's following the reporter and the thing that's basically unfolding in front of you, right there. And it's like, well, there you go. That's it. As soon as you're into that, then you're not sitting there wondering, because for all of what I liked about Hellhouse, the biggest failing for me was the camera, and it was that thing of why. I mean, yeah, document all your stuff, document what's going on. I totally get that, but there were too many times when, what was it, pervy, creepy Phil, or whatever his name is, the Phil the rapist.
Paul.
That's
Paul?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah, when he would literally be lying in bed, and then just sort of like, as soon as he gets up, the first thing he does is turn the camera on and walk out into the landing. It's like, why? I mean, the one thing, even Blair Witch didn't go that far. You'd have the audio recordings when they could hear Josh in the forest calling out, and that was just audio recordings. And then finally, when they have to get out the tent, they turn the camera on because they need the light from the camera. So that's always my big sticking point with found footage films in general. And in this one, a couple of times I really ran up against that wall of, why are you doing this? Why are you still filming this bit?
I noticed that on this film with the, when I think Paul went to the basement first time and found the clown at the top of the stairs. And he used the camera to look down the stairs. And when that shot was happening, I'm just sat there going, why would you be tipping the camera around to look down the stairs? Wouldn't you just look down the stairs?
Yeah.
But I know we have to do that.
Yeah.
To get the next shot.
Yeah.
But that always kind of removes me from it.
Exactly, and that's the compromise, isn't it? At some point, unless you've really planned this shit out, at some point you are going to have to break out of that format. So, and that is always the problem. But can I just say, because you brought it up, fuck that creepy clown. Fuck that creepy clown right in the ear. I saw him on all the stills and all the images and all the promotional stuff around the web, and I thought, yeah, well, that's just a creepy... Yeah, okay, fine, we're in a ghost house kind of thing. But when that fucker's standing in the doorway...
Just stood there,
and then he looks away, he looks back, and he's fucking looking at him. It's like, peace out, I'm out, that's it. That would have been it for me. Oh, it's just, I don't give two shits about
dinner plate, gravy, everything all over the place.
Dinner plate, gravy, 4 roast potatoes, a full Yorkshire pudding. I'd be a plate of peas. I'm off. I'm out of it.
Well, so in that scene, that did actually on my second watch, it Blair Witched me.
Yeah.
Because the thing in Blair Witch, in the third act, they find the house in the woods. Unless you're watching very, very closely and a very Sherlock Holmesian, what most people don't realise until maybe the second or third view, that house is Rustin Parr's house, and it burnt down years ago, and that entire house they go in is a fucking ghost.
Yes.
Which, when that penny drops the second or third time you watch it, it's kind of like, oh my shitting God, that house shouldn't be there. Now, this pulls off a similar thing with that clown, because they do establish that those clown dummies, the heads do not turn. And so when he goes there and it's turned, it says, go, shit, how's he done that? That's doubly not possible when you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the extra thing in you just go, oh no. No.
But I like that scene in particular because he goes back and then he finds the guy there and he goes, then he runs back and it's gone. And he's, oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, there are some. When I was talking about nice shots with the actual handheld camera, it was in that sequence, and you do go through a couple of doorways, and you kind of open the door with the camera, or push through a screen with the camera, and it kind of goes black for a second, and all the light streams in. And you're just waiting for that face to be there or someone to be there, and it doesn't happen. And you're kind of building up the tension ever so slightly because you know something's going to happen. It's kind of that is the DNA of these kind of movies. You ramp up to something and then something happens. You're like, oh fuck, and then someone runs and there's lots of breathing and lots of tripping over, and the camera falls and goes at a jaunty angle. That's kind of established in the found footage genre, but it's just that building up to it. The build up is always the key with a lot of this stuff. I mean, before we get to the climax, I mean, what were the big scares for you guys? I mean, what was the disturbing things with this film? Because
the bit where the cameraman's in bed and he wakes up and there's a woman sitting on the floor by the wall.
That was the moment. I think that was when I had my what I call the ring moment, where I actually say,
where you passed something through your ring because
Pretty
you were
much.
so scared.
pretty much. No, the Ring was the first horror film where me and Jess, when we were watching it, literally because we did not know what we were getting into, we were watching it, and then when old Sadako does her thing. For the first time you've ever seen it happen, and you didn't know what was coming. I mean, the pair of us, two grown men, were sitting on a sofa, both hiding behind pillows, going no, and that when he puts the blanket down and then lifts the blanket up, and you see her turn her head and start to move as if to get up, and he's just got the blanket down, going oh no, and I'm just thinking, mate. Do not, for fuck's sake, lift that blanket up again. Do not do that.
Yeah,
don't
that's your
do it.
protective shield.
Yeah, that blanket's going to protect you forever. Anyway, sorry, carry on. Who was going on that bit? The lady in the lady on the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, Darren, that was you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that one.
Yeah. What about you, Jim? What bit did you in?
I like the head turn, as we mentioned. I do like a little lady against the wall. That creeped me out because it reminded me a story told to me by a friend of my sister.
Oh God!
Oh, here we go.
God.
They lived in an old Victorian house. Apparently, it used to be a doctor's surgery. And when she was 10, she got a bad case of tonsillitis.
Okay.
And, you get high fever and whatnot.
Yeah.
And she woke up, and there was a man in the room with a purple face and just looking absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
So she did what any kid does. She's like, right, it's not real. She took her head on the covers and said, oh, when I take the covers out, it'll be gone.
Yeah.
So she did that. And when she took down the covers, he was stood right over her. And so she did the sensible thing, screamed the absolute house down.
Yeah.
However, there was a coda.
Yeah.
She had an older brother who lived away. And when he came home for the next holiday, they told this story about, oh, you're Lynn, she screamed down the house. And he went white as a sheet because he used to have her old room. And he said, I saw that very guy when I had tonsillitis.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to go and turn every light on in the house if you just excuse me for a minute.
Can we record this at 9 o'clock in the morning next time, please?
Yeah, I know. Fuck me. Whose idea was it for horror films? Okay, what about you, Elton? What was your moment?
Moment. Obviously, the handheld bit with the little girl or lady or whatever it was, but strobes as well.
Oh, how many people are in this corridor?
Yeah, yeah, the strobes, and what was the other bit? It was at the very. I know you kind of get into the punchline, but at the very end. And all you could hear was like the tape machines, like and the screams and stuff like that. And it's just, there's nothing really happening. And you're actually walking through this haunted house. You're like, for fuck's sake, just get out. Just stop. Honestly, just stop. But yeah, there was loads of things. I'm a proper scaredy cat. So like the hooded things as well. You're like, what the fuck are they? And they just pop up. You're like, whoa, no. What are you doing to me? Get the fuck out. There should just be a big red button that says lights. And you hit it. And lights.
That I would agree with. For sure.
The get the fuck out button.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The peace out button. That's it.
Yeah.
But
2000G.
But okay, well, my one came on very early, and I mean, obviously, the lady in Paul's room was the key moment. The fucking creepy ass clown can go fuck itself. forever. That just,
Is it because it's a clown, or is it just because it was a creepy thing?
it's because it was there and it wasn't supposed to be. I have a thing, personally, I have a thing about, I'm aware of things. I'm very easily, I'm readily aware of things around me and the position and where they are and what they're doing and everything. So when something's off, that immediately throws me. And so that whole bit with the fucking clown being at the top of the stairs and then he's at the bottom of the stairs, then he's looking at them and then he's not, that sort of shit will put the willies up me faster than any monster or psycho with a fucking knife or any of that stuff. If something just changes, then it's just like fuck that. But the one that got me was really early on, and it was just the worst because it's just absolutely totally down to my fear, and it's always about the fear of the unknown with me. That's why I prefer ghost stories and horror movies where they don't show you than if they just suddenly throw CGI and rubber everywhere. and it's the bit when Paul is filming himself for the first time.
Oh, yes.
And you just see someone with crazy ass hair stroll in behind him and just stand there. And you don't see anything than just the outline of her hair against that red light. There's no noise, there's no sound, there's no nothing. And then after a while, it just turns around and just walks back out. That, to me, was right then and there. If I was Paul, I would have taken the camera, I would have thrown it in the back of the car, I would have got in the car, and I would have fucked off, and I would have kept fucking off until I never came the fuck back.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. Because that sort of shit, if you know me and you do that shit, then fuck you. And if you don't know me and you've done that shit, then you ain't supposed to be in the house. In which case, double fuck you, I'm out. Which comes to the... I mean, and that was it. And then I guess that brings me to my next point, my next question, which is, at what point, putting ourselves in this situation, at what point would you have just gone, that's it, fuck this noise, I'm out?
You know what? That's the thing that kind of sticks with me about this film. I think what I would have preferred to have seen, rather than them go through all this. I think there's a sketch by Eddie Murphy that he used to do on his stage show about the difference between white people in horror movies and black people in horror movies. It's like you've got the Amityville, and it's like you've got a white family moves into the house, and they're like, oh, yes, look at this is wonderful. And then, shunk, somebody gets done by an axe, and they stay there, right? But then you have the black family move in, and they're like, oh, this is wonderful, look at this lovely pool house, la, 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 and then it's, shunk, I think we better leave, and it just... That's what that reminded me of. They've had all this shit happening, and it's just like, why are they still carrying on with the show? You've got one of your members of staff is walking around like a zombie, right? You've had all this shit happen to you. You've had one of the girls who stands there staring at a wall and stuff like this. Who's acting strangely. It's like nothing is going right. Cancel it. Maybe what they should have done is they should have had them all being killed off before the people got there, and then they get in and find the dismembered corpses and everything, and they think, oh, this is all part of the act, and then it happens all over again, and people get trapped in the house. Some of them escape. They call the police. They get in there and they see all this, but really, to have all that happen and still go ahead.
Yeah.
It's like, kill them off and then have the people turn up thinking that this is all part of the act, when actually, no, everybody is actually dead.
Because that was what I mean. What about you guys, Jim, Elton? I mean,
well, for me, the thing is, it's very clear. This is their own little business, and it is kind of, if they don't do this, nobody eats. You know what I mean? It's that. This is the thing with like haunted house. When people go, "Oh yeah, just leave," but it's kind of actually, I'm just mortgaged my ass to buy this house. I can't just fuck off because I had a bit of a scare. Now, in some horror films, they tip the balance, and you've got like maniacs with axes clearly living in the cellar, and there's a door to hell in the bathroom, and there's tentacles coming out of the sink every time you're having a shave. And you think, leave. Yeah. But I think this plays it quite well. It's just a few things that are a bit weird. It's nothing extreme until the night itself. The Paul thing's weird, but by that point it's almost kind of like they're just locked into doing it, and it is kind of like they're not, because the character of Paul is built up to be, he's a bit flaky, he's a bit weirdo. Half the people think it's him, he's just been fucking with them anyway to get something good, to doing his own sort of little mockumentary for like website extras. Yeah, and I think they keep things of just being kind of some weird things happening, but it's just. We're just yanking each other's chains, you know what I mean? It's someone fucking around. It's nothing too. It's not like green slime coming out the faucet, or a giant skeleton dropping out, going leave this place, and stabbing somebody. And I think there's always that thing. If you got to have that balance, because in the real world, people don't believe in ghosts and shit. I mean, now zombie movies are completely unrealistic. Because there isn't a zombie movie out there, not even the best of them, that has a bunch of people going, you know what, I think the dead rising is a hoax. I'm going to go about my business normally, which is what we've learned people are like this year. Yes. You know what I mean? It's kind of, sorry, all the stupid things people do in movie has now got a fucking massive fucking mulligan. Because we've proved how fucking stupid we fucking are in the face of a real fucking threat.
Yep. Yes. Yes. And at no point now do I ever want to see the Americans save the entire planet from anything.
No.
That does not count ever.
No, that doesn't work.
No. Just no. No, I don't believe you anymore. That is a lie, and I don't believe you.
The movies lied to us.
Yeah. Oh, no.
For me... the bit that I would have got out of Dodge, it's when my friends rock up to me and go, "Yeah, we bought this haunted house and we want you to be part of it." I'll be like, "Yeah, no, bye-bye," and that's it. That's the end of the film.
But then they pull out a bag of Aunt Bessie's for you. It's like
one start laying them on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a whole oven tray full of these for you, Elton.
Yeah. Yeah,
leading me out like E.T. with M&M's.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Fucking trail of roast potatoes on the floor.
Yeah. Getting progressively more crispy as you go along. Yeah, leading to a little ball of stuffing and a pot and a little ball of stuffing and a little pot of gravy. Oh, just lure him right in. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah. No, I will be honest with you. I mean, as far as getting the fuck out of Dodge, I mean, I was with it, on sort of like, oh, it's just Paul. Paul is the only person seeing a lot of this shit. Fine, and I was quite up for that being that kind of Blair Witch thing again of Josh being the lure sort of thing. He just disappears, and the next thing you know, they're all doomed because they're all getting lured in by him. And that's where I thought it was going. The moment where I kind of was like, okay, at some point someone has got to turn around and go, enough now, is the bit where the guy who I thought was eminently the most sensible, the electrician guy,
Mac,
yeah. And he is the guy who sets up all the cameras. He's the guy who's worried about the health and safety of the whole thing. He's the guy who's got this kind of really pragmatic view about the whole lot. And I thought, okay, right, fine, I'm with him. But when he gets freaked the fuck out by the clown moving, and not only the clown moving, but then the clown suddenly appearing at the top of the stairs, and then they go downstairs again to get away from the clown at the top of the stairs, walk into the room which had just previously been completely fine, completely fucked up, and it's now completely resorted in a strobe light. Suddenly the whole room's back to normal, and there's a bloke standing in the corner, and him and Paul basically go barreling past, like, with the girl in tow, and just go, after she's been talking to a wall as well. Let's not forget that.
Mm-hmm.
And they, all of this happens in like 5 minutes, and they've been hearing screaming downstairs. And it's like they barrel past the clown, and you're like, right, okay, that's not just one freaky thing, and it's not just happening to one person. That is 3 freaky things happening to 3 people simultaneously at while they're all together. At that point, you have to be questioning it, even just slightly, because if 3 out of 5 of you aren't, are all together, then person number 4 and number 5 are going to be working their fucking arse off if they got somehow managing to move a creepy ass clown about at light speed and redo the between strobe blinks a room downstairs from completely demolished to completely fixed and sticking a person in the corner. At that point, you've got to go, hang on. Either there's more people in this house than we expected, or the other 2 are playing a prank on us, and you can't write that off. I don't think you could write that off any other way. You just got to go, nah, fuck this noise. Because there's either more people in this house than there's supposed to be, or, the other 2 are playing pranks on us, in which case I don't want to be a part of this, because they're fucking nuts. Yeah, but no, fuck that clown. Again, I'm just going to say that. I'm going to just keep going back to that clown. That clown can fuck off.
I thought it was a good story, though.
Yeah.
I think it's having a haunted house as a setting for a haunting type movie. The first time you're walking around it, you're going, oh yeah, that's a dummy, that's a dummy, that's a dummy. But slowly over the movie, you're like, well, that might not be a fucking dummy. That could be a dummy. And why is that fucking piano playing? What the fucking hell is going on?
Oh, the piano play.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, man. And you halfway through it, you don't trust anything that you see, because you're seeing little glimpses, left, right, and centre, and then you're seeing heads turn. And do you actually see heads turn? I don't think you do. You just see the doors close, and then they're turned, aren't they? So you never see the actual turn. It's kind of like the weeping angel type thing, isn't it?
It is. It only moves when you're not looking.
Yeah. Which is a scarier thing, isn't it? Because then you got your eyes closed, and you're like, oh, I don't want to look because it'll be right in my face. Oh, it is. And it's you tend to lose trust in absolutely anything in your environment around there, because anything could actually trigger something else going on. And that's where I was getting all my attention, and I'm getting like chills down my spine. Oh, jeez.
I got chills, they're multiplying.
Well, I think what a lot of found footage movies get wrong is that you don't understand the fundamental structure of the ghost story. The ghost story is a mystery, essentially. And the great M.R. James, he was a big mystery fan, and he said, the ghost story is not unlike writing a good detective story. And you have to, slowly drop clues to the big picture throughout it, and you should build up to the scariest bit coming with a realization of what everything means.
Yeah.
And a lot of people found footage think, oh, well, we'll just make some noise in the dark and run around, that'll be fine. Okay, no, that doesn't work. You have, whereas this, I think you just get these drip, drip, drip of the history. This house has a history. Does the main guy who does Alex actually know the history of this house?
Yeah.
And he's not letting on to the others.
Yeah.
Is the house getting to him and say, making him become obsessed with it, and there's all this the significance of the numbers, the hanging, what happened in the cellar, and I think it kind of by the end when you I think it structurally, because you get the early on you get essentially an edited version of the climax from the tour goers footage from YouTube. And then at the end of the climax, you get that intercutting with other footage, and you begin to see why they're all running out the house, and these fucking hooded figures coming out of the cellar and grabbing people.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like, then you can start to go, oh my God, it is a gate to hell. And, it's just been waiting to be opened up, and now it's, it's feeding time at the zoo, basically.
Yeah. You've kind of
And
led them
what's
all
more,
down there.
there's something there, and I like the kind of, most of the found footage films would have just ended with that, but it doesn't. It puts the extra twist on, because you've got that footage from Sarah, who then persuades them to go to the house.
Yeah. Wahaha. Okay, well then, I'm trying to think whether or not we go right into the ending. I mean, obviously, spoilers ahead if anyone is listening at this point. What did we think of the conclusion? Because these kind of films, especially what we're ostensibly calling found footage movies, whether they're documentaries or mockumentaries or what, they kind of live or die on their conclusion.
Yeah.
So, how did we feel about the conclusion itself?
I was happy with it. And in the regard of, I thought when we were first, when we saw Paul slit his throat, I thought that was kind of the punchline. And I don't mean to call it a punchline to be flippant, but that's ever since seeing Blair Witch, and then you get the punchline at the end, but you've been told it at the very beginning. I'm kind of waiting for that sort of thing. I'm seeing a sort of pattern there, but I didn't see it in this one, which was quite nice. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. But for the interviewers to then go back to the house, and as soon as they saw that door, it's like 2C is like, don't you dare open that door. Get the fuck out of there. Don't you dare do that. And as soon as you open that, you're like, oh, there's a lady sat there. Fucking close the fucking door.
Yeah.
But more to the
Jeez,
point,
man.
Did you notice though that door
from the
has
outside.
the
I
bolted in. It's got that's a lovely little detail.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you have to open it, don't you? You have to open that gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it worked really, really well because at that point, you've had the found footage. You've come to the end of the found footage. It's brilliant. You think you've seen the whole story, and it's just wrapping it up, and then you kind of get more found footage. But that's the what do they call it? The unreliable narrator. Because
Yes.
where did that found footage come from? That's the kind of thing. Where did that come from? So there has to be more investigation. But I like the way that they did it because it leaves you on the screaming, it leaves you on the shouting and the weird figures and stuff like that. It makes you feel on edge, and you're like, "Fucking just finish, please. Just stop. Roll the credits." And then it does, and it's like eerie, bloody piano music. It's like, oh, jeez, stop with that as well. So yeah, I liked it. I apologise if I'm swearing too much, but it's just
No, don't worry about it.
it's the frustration and the scariness.
Have you listened to this podcast for the last
I know,
11
but
years?
I seem like I'm effing and jeffing all the time now.
Mate, seriously, don't worry about it. What about you, Dal?
What do you mean? Do I?
What did you think of the ending?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I kind of got it where the spirits were, they set a trap. Really, they used the, they came to the woman in the form of one of the actresses that, one of the actors that was, played a role there, one of the main members of staff. So I kind of like that. I did like where they walked into the room and they found her sitting on the bed facing the window, and it's like, oh no, you don't ask her to turn around. That's not what you do. Don't do that, because
Run away now.
Yeah, just turn around and walk out. Okay, just leave things as they are. Say sorry. Turn around and go.
Yeah.
Show lots of respect as you're walking out as well. Don't make any stupid jokes or anything. Say thank you. Be very polite.
Yeah.
Leave a tip at the door or something in the little jar.
And a small offering.
Yeah, a small offering. Not your soul, but something else.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a Galaxy chocolate bar or something. I don't know, Twix.
Your Starbucks card.
Yeah, or a jam sandwich. Something like that.
I'm going to go voodoo. A bottle of cheap brandy, apparently.
Yeah.
Handy hint there if you're troubled by spirits.
Or if you're really, really low on cash, a bottle of Thunderbirds. Just
that'll do.
right there. That'll do it.
Only if it's student ghosts.
Oh, right. Red or blue, though. Red or blue. Which one do you go for? We go for red because we're classy. Yeah.
No, just yes.
Just
Which
yes.
Which one do you go? Yes, you go for that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So I thought the ending was okay. That's it. It did the job.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it. But it was creepy the way she sat on the bed there and she turns around. It's like blood gushing from the head.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And Jim.
I liked it. I did think when I first watched it, I did think, "Oh, come on, you could have ended this now." But then, when you get the reveal of the room number, you go, "Oh, and she's bolted, and it's bolted shut." Well, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that didn't make too much of a meal of the ending. It was done pretty quick. And as well as just of her turning around and being like clearly dead, you have those fucking creepy hooded figures, and that's yep, that'll do me. That's nice work, lads.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
cheers for that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I kind of, I totally, I got into this problem with the finale, where it was suddenly it stopped. I was kind of waiting for it to pull the triggers on a lot of things. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It's gonna do something, and it's got to show you what's down in the basement, and from there on in, it's got to try and wrap it up in some way. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it won't scare me now as much as the other bits did. But the problem I have then is, as soon as it stops scaring you, and you get into that Blair Witch thing of what my dad did, which is you start to question everything. And for those of you who didn't hear the story on the Blair Witch episode, my dad basically, when they were running through the forest, shouted rather loudly and exasperatedly, "Why don't they just throw the fucking heavy camera in the bush and just keep going in a straight line? What the fuck are they bothering with this shit for?"
Or throw the heavy camera at the entity that's chasing them.
He wasn't even. That was. This is the polite version. He basically sighed for the better part of like 90 minutes. But anyway, so the finale with the guys in the black robes and that sort of stuff. As soon as they popped up, it kind of felt a bit. It felt a bit Doctor Who. Is that probably the best way of putting it? I think, yeah, because it just felt like the only way we can make these guys scary after all this actual scary stuff is to make them look menacing in some kind of way. And then it started to irritate me, because then what they did was they mistook lots of screaming and shouting and digital noise for scares, and it became that the same problem that happens with most generic horror, which is that scares aren't scares. What they actually are loud noises that startle you. They're not it's not the scares that are scaring you. It's the fact that it goes quiet. Well, to quote Mark Kermode, it goes quiet, 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 bang, and it's the bang that makes you jump. It's not the actual thing that makes you jump. So that whole end, while it should have been making me feel worse and making me feel like, ooh, I'm super tense. As soon as it was just like, oh, black people, people in black robes, you know, hooded figures kind of wandering around, it was just like, oh, okay. And, you know, here we are again, sort of generic hooded figures. And it was only that bit at the end with the room, you know, the 3C or whatever it was, the 2C or whatever, that I was like, now that's quite cool. I'll give you that. That was quite. And as soon as they opened the door to that the girl sitting there on the bed, I just thought I was with the cameraman. We are not opening a creepy fucking door locked from the outside, which the creepy fucking lady has just pointed out to us deliberately. And then there's the documentarian going, oh no, I want to be scared. I want to open it up, and it's just like, well, you can come back at midday tomorrow, and we can do it then. And it's just, and that bit, I kind of was like, okay, fine, you've got me at the end. You pulled it back from the brink, but the actual reveal of what was going on in the house, the actual trap itself, I actually thought was something of an anticlimax. I'll be honest with you.
I think on second viewing, they should have done that using the fixed cameras.
Yes, I think that's not a bad.
Like the security cameras.
Yeah. I mean, as this was what, 2015. It was in the year of Borderlands coming out, and they probably wouldn't have seen. They'd been making this when Borderlands was coming out, and it's kind of a bit of a shame if they'd been doing this like 6 months, 9 months later, and they'd seen Borderlands. I think they'd have gone, hang on, we'll use the closed circuit.
Yeah.
That would have worked better, I think.
I think
because
so.
kind of looking down on people running, I think it would give you the panic better, and it'd give you oblique angles as well.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to see anything. You just need to see, I don't know, blood, arms, flashes of faces. You know, I mean, I
think the flight from the house, I agree, is an anticlimax, but the kind of last bit of original found footage of where you have Anna and Paul in the house. The cameraman who stays in the hotel plays as they're going to the house. I thought that was far more effective.
Yeah. I mean, it was effective. I'll give you that, but that was the problem. I think at that point, by the time that had happened, the film had almost got me to go, oh, we're back to that now. We're back to the old horror tropes of scream, 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 loud, 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 bang, bang, bang. And so I almost had to be one round again. Do you know what I mean? I had to kind of get back on board. So I think watching it again, I probably would sit there and go, well, okay, fine. This last bit with Paul and Anna, and then the reveal of what Anna, you know, may or may not be, is a much better ending. But after that, it kind of fluffed the big reveal. You know, Godzilla turned out to be a sock puppet. It was just like, no, you can't do that. You can't.
I thought they were just shapes, though. That was the thing.
No, well, maybe they are, but to me they were. When the fat geezer dressed as the clown ran out, and she's going, Josh, help me, and then there's all these people watching what's going on, and then the camera's spinning left and right and whatnot. There was clearly just a guy in a hood standing like a foot away from her and moving very slowly, and then you get that digital noise thing, which is incredibly annoying from a technical standpoint, because you show me any mobile phone ever that will give you that digital noise, and it won't. Digital cameras will give you that digital noise if you break the tape or you put too much magnetism near it, but actual video phones won't do that. But that's just me just being a nerd. But the thing is, once it got into that kind of, here's some noise, here's some on the screen, and here's a bloke in a hood, and then here's another bloke in a hood, and it was just like, Yeah, I've been more scared at those monks in that werewolf episode of Doctor Who when they were wandering around with all their stuff on, or those headless monks in that Matt Smith episode. And I just don't find that particularly scary when everyone just starts screaming and it's just like people with knives everywhere. But like I say, the final reveal was very well done. That last bit was just like, oh my word, you bastards! What are you doing to me? Right at the very end. But they, the fact that they pulled it out of the bag, I think fair enough. I think overall, it was a good film. It was a good film because I don't think I was expecting anything from it. And within that limitation of being so jaded about horror films, especially this particular sort of subgenre that sprung up since the 90s. I mean, yeah, I thought they did a very good job. Anyone else got any other thoughts about it or anything they would like to add?
I thought the actual house was a very good setting as well. I thought that was I couldn't. It was manipulated enough so I couldn't actually work out what led to where. So I was always guessing what the next room would be. Otherwise, you kind of build like a map in your head, and you're like, oh yeah, just around there, that's fine. Go through there, and then you're out. But it was. I thought it was quite a good setting, and weird pentagrams downstairs. That would have been ringing big bells, like fucking hell. And also, like the guy who's actually purchased the place. He's always fobbing off of questions of, well, do you know what's going on here? Do you know what's going on? He's like, well, no, let's not talk about that. So, yeah, you have to ask yourself, did he know the backstory of what was going on?
Well, actually, that's just reminding me of the question, because I think that ties back into the person who originally owned the place, wasn't it?
Yes,
The history of that Andrew Trent, or whatever his name is, that owned the place.
And the guy who...
Tully. Andrew Tully.
Tully, yes.
Right.
And he did that whole thing. He did that whole thing of sort of like killing people. People went missing. And then they... was it? Killing people, they went missing, and then he hung himself.
Right.
And that's exactly exactly what this guy did, wasn't it? So it did the Blair Witch thing of basically history repeating itself.
Yeah. So that was thing I was looking for. So do you reckon this Tully hung himself, or he was hung by the spirits?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would suggest that he probably hung himself,
because I didn't think the main guy running the operation here, I didn't get the feeling that he hung himself. I think he was more hung. Sorry, hanged.
Yeah. Well hung, well hanged.
Hanged.
Yeah.
No, so I got the impression that Alex was strung up by persons or things unknown.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas my impression is Andrew Tully, the original owner, it was kind of, okay, things are getting a bit too hot now here.
Oh, right. Sort of bailing on the situation. Yeah.
Do you reckon he opened the gate and then was like, do you know what? I've done fucked up. I better get myself out of this situation.
Yeah. I'm out of here. It's all going too much now.
But that's always ironic, isn't it? Though.
Well, it is.
I mean, you prove hell exists. You open up the gate to hell, and then you hang yourself. Where do you expect to be going?
And
another
the thing with the deal with the devil. Why are you entering a deal with someone who's known as the father of lies?
Yeah.
This always strikes me as it's not going to work out well.
It's kind of written on the tin. Yeah.
I don't care you've got a contract. How much do you think that's worth?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've just read on IMDb, right? And I didn't get this from the film. This is just me reading this. But it said about the handprints and face prints in the basement. and that correlates with the phone call at the very beginning of the film, where they phone up the 911 and say they're coming out the walls, and it's supposed to say they're pulling us into the walls. So the face prints and the handprints on the walls are people who have already been drawn in there.
Well, that would make sense because that's the blood. Because there's the blood stain of Annie or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
That goes because when the documentarian goes in there, she says, "Oh, that way's the way to the piano." And let's follow the blood trail round. And you follow the blood trail round, and it goes through into like a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the false wall.
Yeah.
So it's the house itself.
Ooh.
Where are you moving to again, Elton?
Don't you dare. Right. G.I. Joe's still on Netflix, mate.
Yeah, I know. But we still got to do a podcast about it, and I can put all sorts of weird and fucked up noises on this fucking feed. You know that. Yeah, okay. Oh, dear. Yeah. What I was going to ask was just one last question before we do wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
What was the bit where Mac was speaking to the other guy, the one who was sensible enough to do what I would have done, which is said, "Fuck you guys, I'm out." And then the next thing you see, there's kind of a Ridley Scott field of wheat, and they're all just sitting there, and he sort of says, "So that's why you've got to go back." What is it they're actually saying that can convince a man who has literally just seen a clown move, and then to the point where he actually hid in a boiler to hide away from 3 moving clowns in a basement that's haunted? What convinces that man to go back?
Yeah, it's got to be something special, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose that thing I think he played on the... Because he just said they all have this shared past, and I think the attitude is kind of like it's just, you know, just one night, one last job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also that thing as well. Is kind of, I think it's terrifying at the time, but the day after, in the cold light of day, you start thinking, well, I was panicking, maybe I didn't see that, and that's the angle to be persuaded.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if it happened to you, you wouldn't believe it had happened to you. And if someone says, "Yeah, come on, man, we're all freaking out in the dark, you know, your eyes can play tricks on you," suddenly that becomes very convincing because that's what you want to believe.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, man. I don't know what would persuade me.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I just walked into a completely empty part of the house, only to find a clown had magically appeared at the top of the stairs, and then when I looked away, it looked back at me, I think it would take more than pretty much anything that anyone could ever offer me to go anywhere near something like that.
Yeah.
You would literally have to be offering me all. I do mean all the money ever. I mean literally every single share in Apple sort of levels of money. I need trillions of dollars to go near a creepy ass clown that's already moved by itself.
I don't know. I don't even think I'd take that.
Well, I'm only saying it because I know no one would give it to me. It's a safe bet.
Just constant dump trucks reversing up your driveway. Just beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan levels of dump truckery money laundering. Yeah. I just need, just give me all the monies. And even then, give me more. And then even then, I might just go and stand on the porch, but I wouldn't go any further than that. So, yeah. What do you think, Dal? What do you think he was told?
I don't know. I think it's, again, it's that whole thing of I've spent all my money. I mean, Jim made a very good point there from realism. People can do some stupid things out of desperation. And I think maybe the financial aspect of it was, kind of motivating him. Because I think, thinking back to the film, the actual beginning, he did seem that way anyway. I think there was a point where he's having a discussion. And they're like, no. He's like, no, we're, by hook or by crook, we're opening, on this day. Doesn't matter what happens.
Right.
So I don't think it took that much arm twisting thinking about it now.
But again, I mean, I don't think there's anyone with enough money to convince someone who's just seen a genuinely supernatural event, and not just one on your own, but one with other people and video footage to corroborate.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If it's just him on his own, I mean, if it's just Paul, you go, okay, fine, it's just him, he's freaking out. But no, I mean, when Paul come back, all Event Horizon on the fucking thing, I was just like, that's fine, that's it, peace out, I'm definitely done. Anyway, any last thoughts? Because we'll wrap it up otherwise.
I'm done there, I think. Thank you very much. Good one, though. Good one.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I said on Facebook last night, I said, horrors come down to, that you've never heard of, come down to two types. There's the cheapest chips, and the most expensive thing is the light bulbs on the set. Or there's the ones which are genuine hiddens that just you didn't know that even existed. And yeah, I think that this falls into a category of hidden gem. I mean, It's not perfect, but as a one-off sit down, didn't know what you were getting yourself into horror film, this worked.
You'd recommend it as well, though. That's the thing. I would recommend this.
I would recommend it, but again, the mileage varies with found footage movies. People don't. Some people take right against them pretty quickly.
Some people can't watch them flat out because of motion sickness. And, they're out before they begin. Which I totally understand. Cause
Yeah, I had that with that poxy E.T. rip-off, Earth to Echo, and I took the two girls to see it at the cinema, and we had to leave the cinema because it was just one point they stick a camera on the end of a bike, and then these kids go racing off down the road on their BMXs, wobbling left and right for 5 minutes. It's just like, yeah, I'm sick now. We're leaving. Goodbye. So I know I do completely get it. So yeah. Anything else? Anyone else want to say anything?
I'll just say I have seen the two sequels.
Oh, okay.
Which I believe that the sequels are very much conceived back to back. And the sequels are interesting because the sequels begin with the TV shows investigating this. And they think it'd be a great idea to take a fake psychic, a real psychic,
Derek
and do a show in the house.
Oh.
But I thought that it is kind of like all sequels, they do suffer from being, well, it's more of the same. You don't get that shock of the new as you with the first one. But I think that because they conceived these two sort of together, and they do really, the two sequels do really do interlock well with the first one, and you do get to actually, you do get some more really good, did I just see that sort of scares, but also you sort of delve more into the history of the house and the backstory, and I mean, generally I'm usually of the opinion, increasingly as I get older, that if a film's good, don't make a sequel. Just let it stand on its own.
Yes.
But these were, I would say that the sequels were pretty well done, and you know what I mean. They didn't just like repeat the same thing. They had thought out kind of, well, there's a backstory to explore, and they did it in a way that was logical, and it all fits together. Which because my big bugbear with sequels is people go, let's have another chapter. What happens in it? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's get that clown model again and let's stick it not on the stairs, but in the loft.
How about on a bike?
Yeah.
Tell me more about the talking pie.
Yeah, exactly. What about the talking pie? Cool. Okie dokie. Right. Well, I think we might avoid the sequels because I've looked at one, and one of them has like 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's the third one, so we might steer a little bit clear of that one. Right, so that's that. I think that's Hellhouse LLC. It's available on Amazon Prime. LL Cool J.
Yeah, hello, cool J.
Yeah.
He needs love.
Yeah. Yeah. For the first time in my life, I see I need love. Here I am, now thinking all about the games, and I ain't playing any part, and I ain't seen no names. Anyway, shut up.
I need love.
Yeah, I need love. Boo-doo, boo-boo. Right. Let's get away from this. Dow, I hope whatever film you're picking does not have any kind of acronyms which we can turn into some 80s rapper.
No, not at all.
No. So what have we got for next week?
Well, this one is House of Coolio. Sorry.
The Silver Bullet.
Yep.
Bring forth the guillotine.
No, yeah.
25 seconds ago. Whee! Yeah.
No. This is the one that I am going to suggest is a film that I've been wanting to watch for a while. I do have it on Blu-ray. I haven't actually got round to watching it, but I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity. Get this in here now, and let's have a watch. And I'm just doubly checking because I'm pretty sure this is on. It is definitely free on one of the streaming services, one of the major ones. But I should just grab it and hold on 1 second.
Live productions, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, live productions. Why did they have to put black ink on a lurid red background? Oh my God!
The old ZX Spectrum color setup. Yep.
Honestly, I'm having trouble focusing on this. It's just fuck me. Right. Okay. Well, basically, it's a film called Transfiguration.
Transfiguration.
Yeah. It was released a few years ago.
It's not Transformers.
No.
Transformers Warside Transfiguration. Well, it's not on It's not in Netflix. I can tell you that.
It's on Prime.
It's on Prime. There we go. So it's a freebie now.
Okay.
Transfiguration. Transfiguration. It's a vampire movie, or a vampire movie of sorts. And it's all about a boy coming to terms with the fact that he is actually a vampire.
It's the Transfiguration.
Yeah, it's a 14-year-old boy actually. Let's see, 14-year-old boy Mila, troubled outsider who takes refuge in the vampire mythology and studies the part of the obsession. And it's going on from that, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, it gets a lot of good write-ups from one or two of the the bigger film magazines. So I'm really looking forward to watching this one.
Okay. I'm just looking at the wiki just to help us along. It says on Rotten Tomatoes it holds an 85% rating. With the general consensus that reads, it's a quieter, more deliberately paced tale than genre fans might expect. But for those with the patience to let it sink in, it offers its own rewards. There you go. So it's slow.
Let's see. It's only 97 minutes long, so that's fine.
There you go. So that's that. Has anyone else seen this film? Jim, have you seen this?
No, I've not, no.
Okay. Well, we're into uncharted territory now. I'm not even going to ask you, Elton, but, I feel like I should.
Go on then, ask me.
Have you seen this film?
No, I have not.
There you go. Brilliant. And Darren hasn't seen it, and I haven't even... until about 20 minutes ago, I hadn't even heard of it. So
really? I'm surprised.
Yeah, I know. I've not heard it at all. So Transfiguration, a 2016 American horror drama film. it's available on Amazon Prime, ladies and gentlemen. So we shall see what that's like. Yeah, so that's that. So join us for that next week. And if you have any feedback or thoughts of anything that we've said about this week's episode, which is Hellhouse LL Cool J, then do write it down, send it to us as an email to feedback@Black Dog Podcast, or if you like, go on the old Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, and leave some comments underneath the episode when it goes up in a minute. Or if you feel like talking into the endless void, then do go on Twitter and say something to @BlackDogPodcast, and you'll get that sort of Lovecraftian silence that tells you that there's nothing there. Brilliant. So before we go, let's find out what everyone's doing next during their time between episodes. So, Jim, what's happening in the wonderful world of Hypnagoria?
Well, this week we just dropped an episode to pay tribute to the late great Dame Diana Rigg, a commentary for what was her most favourite film she appeared in, which is Theatre of Blood with Vincent Price.
Nice.
And as mentioned, this weekend, Honest, there will be the Hammer House of Horror episode.
Nice. As long
Unless I decide to bump it until after Halloween, so I can do the history of Halloween. Depends how much I get recorded this week and how long the history of Halloween. Because I do intend this year to actually hit the John Carpenter movie. I might be doing a full series retrospective. But
nice.
But we're running out of October already. There's not enough weekends in it. So.
Yeah, be careful.
House of Horror might take a back seat. We'll see.
I was going to say, don't overpromise, Jim. Remember the brief history of the Batman. You know how these things go. Brilliant. Okay, and that's all over at hypnagoria.com, yeah?
It is indeed.
Brilliant. And what about you, Elton?
Over at Shonky Lab, I'm still talking about guitars with Hal Curtis. That dropped last week. And next Monday, I'll be dropping an episode where I recorded with Amber. And it is about spirits and demons.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Ooh. I get a little scared during that as well. Kept checking over my shoulder.
So can I just ask at this point, do you just have a permanent combi oven in your recording studio? You just have 1,000 roast potatoes just on the go constantly?
It's not got that bad just yet, but I think it's on the way, mate. Honestly,
well, we'll work on it. We'll work on it because we've got Darren's slow burn vampire movie. I'm still trying to decide between 3 films. I won't say which ones. And then we got yours, which is obviously G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra.
So I thought you were going to say G.I. Joe Roast Potato.
Yeah, G.I. Potato. Right, Rise of the Roasty. Okay, Dal, are you in any podcasts at the moment, or
actually no, none at all.
No, okie dokie, fair enough. Well, for me, you can find my artwork. I'm still doing this daily prompt thing. And if anybody does want to get involved in the daily prompt, if they see my artwork and go, oh, I think I could do a much better picture based on that prompt, then go over to the Facebook group Southern GFX Digital Painting Challenge. And then you can join in there. You can just apply to join, and then they just let you in, and then you just get on the prompts and just draw up whatever's prompted that day. As of the time of recording, it's Killer Clown, and tomorrow will be Mr. Hyde, which I have to bash out a painting of within the next 24 hours. So anyway, you can find all of those on my Instagram page, which is instagram.com/cartoonbeardy. And also, I've been given permission to announce officially that I am the end-of-level boss for Pete Organ's What Does God Need with a Starship podcast. So as of Thursday, as of time of recording, Thursday the 8th of October, I will be sitting down with a new copy of Star Trek 5, and I will be watching along with Pete and trying to talk through the film without basically screaming and shouting at it. I think I will fail. I have also secured a small creme brulee torcher, and I will be setting fire to the disc and filming it once I am finished.
Good man. I expect nothing less.
Because it is honestly.
Didn't the last one go under a bus?
Yes, the last one. After I finished watching it, for Black Dog. I literally walked out into the street, threw it and waited for a 261 and threw it under the bus, and then I threw the case under a Dewson's lorry, which followed along shortly behind. So yes, but it came back. Fucking thing came back. Someone found it in the fucking street and left it on my doorstep. Bastards.
Sometimes they come back.
Yes, exactly. But it was completely unplayable, so my mission was accomplished. But it turns out that because I got a Blu-ray box set of all of the Star Trek movies to replace my old DVD collection, there's apparently a Star Trek 5 coaster in there as well. So I've got another disc to destroy. So I'm doing that on Thursday. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Anyway, right, so yes, we'll so join, so I'll be on that soon. I'll send you the links and everything and tell everyone where it is, but you can go over to broadcast.libsyn.com and you'll find any more details about that episode up when it comes up. So that's it. That's it for me and everyone this week. Thank you very much, Darren. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
Thank you.
And again, Hellhouse is available on Amazon, so do check it out if you get a chance. It's a different film, that's to say the least. And we shall see you all next week for The Transfiguration, which is also available on Amazon Prime. So until then, stay safe, take care, and we'll see you all soon. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Oh, bollocks to it.